The African Union Citizens Diaspora Directorate and the Interreligious Association for Peace and Development in Africa celebrates Africa's Spiritual Day. Now, this platform, which took place at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, brought together spiritual and religious leaders of diverse backgrounds within IAPD to speak with one voice and fostering unity amongst them. This year's theme was educating the African person to be spiritually enlightened in the 21st century. We are now joined by Dr. Uzwilezwe Radebe, who's the chairperson for the Interreligious Association for Peace and Development. A very good evening to you, Dr. Radebe. Thank you for your time. Perhaps let's start off with some depth and understanding on how we begin to define what African spirituality is about.
Thank you. Evening, Paul, from Addis Ababa, together with your viewers. African indigenous spirituality is ancient. This is who we are as African people before any missionary or religions came to Africa. So African spirituality is the connection of one with the higher being, the higher spirit, which is the creator, and every other spirit that surrounds you. And also African spirituality, we can term it to say that is a person who's conscious of spiritual matters.
How can it then be embraced as we look to Africa Day, this on the 25th of May, as we try and, of course, resonate with being an African, what it's about, and how you continue to broaden your identity as an African?
Paul, you must remember that spirituality transcends religion. So, and that's the whole point of Africa's Spiritual Day. It's educating especially religious leaders and other leaders, that if we embrace spirituality, transcends religion, meaning that, that's where we will be able to connect on a higher level than just religion. If you look at religion, one can say also divides, because people are so obsessed, and create walls concerning their religions, where they belong. But spirituality is diverse. It accommodates everybody, be it you are religious, be it you are atheist, whatever you are. And remember, Paul, that at the end of the day, be it you are religious, be it you are atheist, whatever that you are, but you are still a spirit being. We are spirit and we are flesh. So when we talk about spirituality, we are really talking about your true identity as a human being, meaning that your true identity is that you are a spirit being. And now if you want to talk Africa, as we are saying, Africa is the mother continent. It birthed humans, it birthed the world. And when humans were birthed, they were birthed with their spirituality. So when we talk about spirituality, it's not something new. You are embracing what you were practicing even before.
As you hold these discussions in Addis Ababa, of course, this is a conversation that's brought together religious and spiritual leaders alike. What are some of the discussions taking place in terms of, you speak here about spirituality transcending religion. How are you finding common ground as you engage in these high-level discussions?
Yeah, it's a good question because, other people are more focused on what they were taught or what they believe. But again, we find the discussions well, it can't be everybody, but it can't be everyone per se. But most people are embracing, and Paul, you are going to be very surprised. Because when I talk about spirituality, I'm not talking to Mpo, the physical person. I'm not talking to the mind of Mpo. Nor am I even talking to the heart of Mpo. I am speaking to your spirit. And your spirit confesses, your spirit knows and it understands what spirituality is. So it is surprising that many religious leaders, they are embracing the fact of spirituality. And also, as I'm saying that, the only way to unite us, to make us one, it's through spirituality. And though humans, yes, at times we can be bad, sometimes we can be good. But at the end of the day, everyone, they want unity. For an example, today, we had a prayer at the end where we are uniting. There was a Jewish a priest, rabbi, and there was also a Muslim a teacher as well. and they both stood together with myself when we lift up our hands to say that there should be peace in Palestine. We all want peace. We all want unity, but we don't know how to get there. There's politics on the way, and there's religion on the way. So when we talk spirituality, it's the only thing that can make people to speak one language, because at the end of the day, we all know that we are spirit beings.
How do you think spirituality helps in molding and binding and uniting broken nations and communities?
Because then it becomes the foundation, as I'm saying. Every house needs a foundation. You can't just build a house on air. You need a foundation. So as I'm saying that, no matter how bad humans can be, but at the end of the day, we all seek peace. We all want to be together. So when you have broken nations, of course, why those nations are broken? Look at the cause. As I'm saying, there will be politics involved, there will be other matters, including religion. So when you talk spirituality, you are speaking to the spirit. You speak something that others might not have, the in-depth knowledge of what spirituality is or the technicalities. But deep down inside, they understand that you are speaking to them because they are spirit beings. And because of that, people embrace spirituality. And if we all embrace spirituality, that will be our universal language. Spirituality is a universal language. We can disagree on many things. We can disagree on which political party. We can disagree on which economic system to choose. But we can disagree on religion. But if we speak of and say, I am a spirit being, you are a spirit being, let us connect beyond physicality and let's talk the spiritual language and the spiritual teachings to guide us, then that's the only way that we'll be able to be united.
How can we embrace the theme? I mean, the theme for this year is educating the African person to be spiritually enlightened in the 21st century. How best can that be embraced?
We went around that by exploring the spiritual teachings, and the most famous and most effective is Ubuntu. And you'll be surprised, if you travel in Africa. Ubuntu, we as South Africans say Ubuntu, but you go within other countries in Africa, they have the same concept, but calling it in their language. And even today, there are many leaders who came to me here in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, who came to me and said, we understand you when you are talking about Ubuntu, but we don't understand the language you are talking. There was translation, but when you say Ubuntu, we understand what you are talking about, because Ubuntu is I am because you are. And Ubuntu are spiritual teachings. They emanate from spiritual teachings. So that is how we were able to go around this education today, using that theme and teachings of spirituality, starting by Ubuntu. I am because you are.
Very well. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Uzwilezwe Radebe, who's the chairman for the Interreligious Association for Peace and Development.